Good morning, good night. I don't know what time it is in your area, but it's morning here. So, good morning, good night to all. I want to pass some positive vibes and positive energy to anybody who probably stand in need of it this morning. We all don't wake up in the best of energy every day, and sometimes we probably need something uplifting from someone else who probably can cheer us on and get our day started in a positive way. So, like I said, this is all I'm trying to do is pass on some of this positive energy and vibes to you. And this morning, I just want to speak to those of you who probably is going through some of the things that I've experienced these past 10 months. And I'm still facing new things every day, every day. Okay, so I've always been in a Baptist church, which we classify ourselves as being Christians. Okay, so now that I have been transformed into a spiritual being versus the Christian being that I used to be, I'm putting this information out there because somebody might be struggling in areas just as I was. I didn't know how to, in the beginning, I didn't know how to let go of the Christianity that was in me versus letting the spirituality within me come into my new change. It's not something that I sat out there and sought to do. It just happened. Like, it's probably so many of us could talk about how our awakening just happened overnight. It wasn't nothing that I was like seeking. I wasn't looking for anything spiritual, even though my mother was a very spiritual person, but she's not one. I mean, she accepted her savior just as her savior. She just was this spiritual being that was able. She had these the same abilities that I have myself and that my daughter have also. She was a being that was able to see things before they actually took place. Not everything, but things that she needed to warn others of, she was able to speak on it before it actually took place. And it wasn't that she was just predicting these things, it was just her gift. She was able to just see things, like I said, before they actually took place. And some of these things I'm able to see also. But the difference between my mother's ability and mine is spiritual ability is that my mom was an empath, and she did a lot of predictions. She was able to do a lot of predictions. Versus me, I didn't know. I didn't know that I had the abilities to connect with people that channel. I didn't know that I had the ability to channel with people that has crossed over and some that's still here. That may just be going through a situation. But as far as those who have crossed over, I can channel with them well. And what I mean by this is, okay, so it happened to me, like I said, months ago. I was lying in my bed, and I promise you, I don't know where this soul came from, but the soul just walked straight through my bedroom door. And she stood like on side my bed, and she was lost. She was totally lost, and she was just going from side to side asking me to help. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. She was 21. She wore a pink blouse. That's all I remember seeing, the pink blouse and her long, beautiful hair, her bright, shiny skin. And it was like, she was just like, where do I go? Can you please direct me to where I need to go? And I was like, Lord, what am I seeing? What am I seeing? And it was like instantly, God told me to sit up in my bed. You have to help her. She's a lost soul. She's trying to find her way. She don't know where she belongs, and I need you to guide her to where she needs to be. And I was like, Lord, I don't know who this person is, and I don't know where she belongs. What is going on? So God began to tell me that I'm a medium, and that I can channel with souls that has crossed over, and that it's my duty to get the lost souls that comes to me to the place where they belong. The only thing that I needs to do is call out on God if I need help, and I need to call on my appointed angels that will assist me with getting the lost soul to where they belong. And that's what I did. Once God told me that, and I was brand new to this, and they began to assist this young lady to ascend to the dimension where she belonged. I never knew her name or anything. And I wanted to ask her before the angels and the ascended masters and them took her to where she belonged. I wanted to ask her name, but I forgot to ask her because I was in shock that she came to me to assist her with getting to where she belonged. But this is why I say God works in mysterious ways. Because for a long time, I couldn't go back to sleep that particular night. And then when I finally did fall asleep, and I woke up the next morning, I began to pray to God because I couldn't let that go. Like, I wanted God to tell me more about what I would be dealing with as being a medium. And how do I deal with this new life, this new gift? God told me everything that I needed to do. And I'm just making a long story short. God told me to open up my phone and to just scroll. Just to begin to scroll through the YouTube news feed. I promise you, I did like 2 or 3 scrolls at the most, no more than 3. And the very thing that caught my eye was that young lady who had visited me. And God let me know right then and there that He had gave me the answers that I was seeking that night. I wanted to know who she was. I wanted to know her name. I wanted to know what happened to her. And her story was right there in the news feed, in YouTube news feed, because I don't have any other social media. So this is why God directed me to open up my YouTube news feed. So when I looked at it, it caught my eye because she was wearing this pink t-shirt. I saw this young lady. She was wearing the same pink t-shirt, and this is on my 4 children. This is no lie. It's no game. It's nothing that I imagined. It's not an illusion. This actually happened. And when I looked at the young lady's name, her name is Anaya Blanchard. And I began to read her story. And I began to understand what happened to her. Because at the time, when she came to see me, she was clinging on to life. She had not yet passed on and crossed over to her new home. And I understand this now. I'm just cutting the story short, but I sat there and I got a chance the very next day to talk to Anaya. And she began to tell me everything what happened to her when she was at this she went to this store to go to purchase something. And she told me everything about her. And we sat there and I talked. And I was writing down everything God told me. Write down everything that she is telling you. And I wrote down her story, and I shared it on YouTube. I don't know, it's in one of my videos, because it was amazing to me how this person came to me and she was seeking help for me to assist her. She already knew that I was someone that could help her get to where she needed to be. I didn't even know that I had this gift in me until that actual night. And what I'm saying is about the Christianity to the spirituality. God had already gave me this gift, and I knew that there was something different about me because I started seeing spirits at the age of 7. And the very first, probably the first 2 times, I don't even know if it was 2 times, that I was afraid because it just popped up out of, like nowhere. And I wasn't expecting it. But then it's like they never would like try to do anything to harm me. And I spoke to my mom about it. She understood.